What is going on, guys? It is your boy Cash, and we are here today, and I know it's finally, we are inside the game. I know it's amazing. I couldn't play all day. I had work, and then by the time I got out of work, I lost a complete day of Elune. So hopefully you guys are like, ooh, I'm so happy to just see something. And you know, it's crazy. And I didn't upload any Elune stuff for a couple days because of Nights Chronicles, so I hope you guys forgive me for that. So for that, I wanted to give you a guide, not a guide, but a guide on one of the new boofed characters, and that is Baldr, a character that most people don't give too much of a heck about, but now that he has changed, maybe he is a little bit better. So what I'm gonna do is do my normal guide procedures, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into, I think it is called the Dimensional Rift, whatever the thing is with the wave mechanic, and we're gonna see how his S3 works. And anytime that I can get that no cooldown skill thing, so we can just keep abusing it to really see how it works, how often it can chain and things of that nature. But first thing is first, we're gonna look at the boys base stats, which you can see on the bottom right hand corner. Class, I don't know, I always feel like I'm talking like a teacher. Class, if you look at the bottom right, you could see that yes. So his attack speed is 106. As we now that I'm doing these guys, now I'm starting to understand, like, most of the characters are in the hundreds, so he is decently quick. He's not gonna go last, but he's probably gonna go last because a lot of other characters have more speed than he does. His attack is 5528. So for me, I would actually need to compare that to some other characters. So let me just do that real quick to get a baseline. So Arslan is 5982. So Reve even has more attack than he does. Uh-oh. Even Caroline has more attack than he does. So he actually has the lowest of all the legendaries that we just checked. Baldr, is not looking too good for you, my man. It's not looking too good. But maybe it's the skills that will make up that difference. We got the S1, which is a front first, as in he has to hit someone in the front row first. The pincer attack uses a fiery blade, and the flame dragon's pincer attack to strike the enemy 3 times, dealing physical damage and inflicting a nature's effect that causes blaze on the enemy for 3 turns. The skill gem set is 5% chance to stun. We're very likely not going to be going for that. So what I'm going to do different than my other guys is that when I go through a skill, I'm going to recommend the skill gem alongside it. So I hope you guys appreciate that. That should make the guide a little bit quicker as well, outside of me explaining it for the first time now. So for the skill one, the skill gem that I would like to use on that one would be red, since it is physical damage. I think that would be a good option. If you don't care about the actual damage of the skill, I would also just kind of as a baseline recommend the violet gem, just because it increases the attack speed. On a skill 1, it's not that bad because you will be using that a lot, and it will just increase your attack speed. If you notice one important thing, it doesn't really say for a certain amount of turns, and it doesn't necessarily say that it has a cap either. So I mean, it could. If it does, please let me know in the comment section below. But I think violet gem is a really good thing for S1s if you don't like the skill bonus set. Next up is the special, aka the S2. This one hits all enemies, and you guys are probably very familiar with it. It's the Fire Whirl. Slashes at the air to open up a rift between time and space and create a blazing gust filled with destructive forces. That is a very intense description. Now it strikes all enemies 5 times, and it does physical damage and inflicts... Really, Elune? I'm doing... Come on, I'm already playing the game. Anyway, and inflicting a nature's effect that causes blaze. So as we know, the S1 causes blaze, the S2 causes blaze, AoE, and this one's for 3 turns. And let me see how many turns this one is. This one's 3 turns as well. And I forgot, I'm a bad boy. We forgot to level this up to see what the difference is when it actually gets to level 6. And as you can see, there is a change, and most of the time there isn't. But since this one has a blaze on it, it actually turns to 4 turns on the S1. So there's actually incentive to level this up. To get that 4-turn blaze actually doesn't sound too bad. And the same thing on the Fire Whirl. If you level it fully, then you will actually get a 4-turn blaze as well. And this is AoE. And this is the S2. It doesn't have a cooldown on it. So as long as you have souls, you can utilize this. So So keep that in mind. Yes, they just changed Weiwei, but at the same time, as long as you have enough souls, you can swap to this character. If you got 8, you can use it on his turn, swap back to him and use it again, and just do a lot of damage. And again, this one is physical damage. Let's look at the skill gem set, and it's going to be 5% chance of ignoring the target's physical defense. Now, I'm going to admit to being slightly a sucker and say that that actually might be good, just for the simple fact that it says ignore the defense. It doesn't say ignore it for a certain percentage. It doesn't say like, oh, only 50%, not 30, not 80, not 90. It says ignore it completely. And if I am wrong, again, please correct me. It's very hard to tell the defense of enemies when you're hitting them, but a 5% chance to ignore it almost sounds worth it. But if you do not like the skill gem set, let's go look at our options. Again, since it's a physical damage skill, you can go with the red. I think that would be pretty good. I also would like, since it is a little bit of a cheekier skill, you could actually go with orange to increase the crit rate of it. It's AoE, so making yourself have an increased chance of critting is pretty good. That's gonna still rely a little bit on your gear though. Just a heads up how much crit rate you have to make it even worth it to possibly go with the orange gem. Increase the crit rate of it to make it a really strong move. It's really obviously good for farming this S2, so increasing the damage in some way, shape, or form is the reason why. This is why I don't mind the skill gem set, because it is red, orange, orange. So it has both of them in it. So you get one physical damage gem, and then you have the other two, which is crit gem. So they're kind of both what you want anyway, so it's not the worst thing in the world. So I would actually just go for the skill gem set, me personally. But if you just rather do more upfront damage and not have to worry about too much other randomness, then just go all red, all orange, whatever you like, whatever you prefer. Next up, with more text than you would like to know, is this lovely ultimate, and this is one enemy. Keep in mind how that works, guys. So if you've never had Baldr before, you can snipe around with this S3. You can go hit the back line if you need to. That's why I actually really liked it, because you weren't restricted to the front line. So as it reads, becomes one with the flame dragon to embody destruction itself, running rampant throughout the earth, strikes the enemy 2 times, dealing physical damage, increases damage by 15% for each blaze on the enemy. Obviously right there, that is going to be like, wow, I should definitely S2 first. And if there's a decent amount of enemies, especially in PvP, that are alive with Blaze, this S3 is going to hit very hard. Now they also changed it that when an enemy in Blaze status is defeated, the Flame Dragon's Rage, which is this move, is used without consuming soul. This effect is triggered only once. So what we're going to be testing out later, like I said, is we're going to be seeing if it's once per battle, or is it can trigger multiple times within the same battle. As you can see, this one is red, orange, violet, and it is to restore a soul with 10% chance. I am definitely not going to go for that. So for me, I'm definitely going to be going either red or orange again on this, because if you have enough crit, I would say crit rate in your gear, then maybe just go for orange to make it crit to increase the damage of it, because it already has damage increasing factors into it with the blaze mechanic. So I don't feel like you need to, yeah, let me get even more damage. But if you make it crit usually ramps up damage pretty good. Let's look at it when it's fully maxed out. Now you will see 30% per blaze. That is nuts. You are going to be killing things. And as we know, he's going to synergize with Reve in the same regards, because that's AoE Blaze, and there are other characters that do put Blaze on characters. So now they are actually making such a combo centric character, and now I really want to give him some of my books. First, let's actually go look at these moves in action. Let's look at all their glory. All right, so here he is. So here's the S1, of course. Let's check that out. 1, 2. I like the double slashes, and then the dragon comes down. And then as you can see now, he is Blaze. You can see this little fiery thing. If you ever wondered if you're like, I wonder if I'm on fire. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Boom. And you can see here it does soul damage. Receives soul damage immediately upon receiving a turn. It's going to last for 3 turns. Pretty cool stuff. The S2, I actually really like it. It's like, I don't know how that's distorting space and time, but you know, whatever sells the newspapers, you know. You know, whatever you want. And then lovely the S3. So what I'm actually going to do is that I'm going to do it with 1 Blaze at level 1 ultimate, right? And then we're going to max out the skill where it's going to be 30% with 1 Blaze, and we're going to just test out the difference. All right, so we got 1 Blaze on the target, and we're going to S3, check what that is. So that did 21,000. not bad. Now let's pump it up. I'm gonna make sure it slows down because I think I just showed it in like super 4x mode, and I'm a bad guide maker. So here we go, slow motion with the blaze on the target. Let's see that damage. That 30 increase. I love it. His animation looks so clean. Then the dragons come out of the thing is all, oh. That's so cool for, and it's 37. So it went up about 16,000. So that's pretty cool. So, but the cool thing to note here is that let's prepare our specimen. Now his passive, and I think I'm gonna just show you guys here, is the third passive. I'm just gonna be skipping around. I apologize, but the third passive is a little bit different now, is that now it does not consume the blaze. It used to consume the blaze. So now we have three, you know, we have two blazes here. So now when we S3 the target, it's gonna actually make a difference that now there's blazes. They changed it to synergize a little bit better. So now boom, we're gonna see it. Sorry for the long animation, or maybe you just enjoy the longer animations. And now you're gonna see 57, 65,000. Guess what? The blazes are still there. So what's really amazing about that, you're going to be S3ing a target with a lot of blazes. He's gonna S3 again of damage, and then of course the blaze will still take on those that didn't get hit. So it's like, don't worry, I'm gonna come to you when I got the time to. Don't you worry, baby boo. So now let's look at these passives since we have them right here. The Dragon Knight's Conviction is going to be, becomes immune to blaze, which is going to be amazing because that means you don't have to worry about fighting other Baldrs and Reves who are just burning up your team, and you'll have at least one character that doesn't have to deal with it. Increases attack by 20% when there is an enemy afflicted with blaze on the battlefield. So that's great. So once he starts attacking, boom, all of a sudden you get a nice increase in attack power. Second passive, Flame Armor, reduces damage received from enemy afflicted by blaze by 20%. When hit, inflicts a nature's effect that causes blaze on the attacker for 3 turns. Obviously that's amazing, so if they even attack him, that might put another blaze. As we just saw, they stack now, so the more blazes on the target, the better it is for you. And then last but not least, the passive 3, which we talked about slightly, increases the crit rate by 20% against an enemy afflicted by blaze. And when an attack lands as a crit on an enemy afflicted by blaze, deals an additional 15% soul damage. It's what we saw, that additional little damage that happened. I thought it was because of the turn, but it's actually because of that third passive. And also, since now we see that it is giving increased crit rate, those orange gems are going to seem a little bit better to you. But so far, I think the character is phenomenal. And now it makes sense why his attack is just slightly lower than everyone else's. Just because of all the combo and increased damage that he gets from the blazing would have kind of made him a little bit too busted if he's like Caroline with 6k. So let's go into the gear. First 3-piece set I think I'll have to mention is the full moon. Remember guys, even though that those things say that the blaze is going to land, you still have to go through resistances. So making sure that your blazes land is probably more important than ever. 3-piece moon set is definitely going to be something that you're going to be looking forward to. Corrupt set is always a good option just because it, you know, you're gaining souls, and the 6-piece option is not that bad, gaining attack at the beginning of your turn on every even number turn that is yours. I think that that's also pretty good to increase the damage, increase that snipe ability. Great Spirit, the 3 and the 6-piece set is pretty good, especially if we're thinking about all the crit that we're going to be getting. That hey, 10% attack speed when you get that crit. He's not, like I said, he's not the craziest fastest character in the world, but his turns will come a little bit quicker. And the ability with the 6-piece set to actually possibly for 15% chance to actually go S2, S3 or S1, S3 is really good. So don't sleep on that either. And I do think last but not least, especially for farming guys, the BJ set is like the best thing in the world. 50% crit power rate for 2 turns when defeating an enemy. That's like gonna happen all the time. Just keep it at the 3-piece set. Maybe go 3-piece BJ, 3-piece full moon when you're just trying to farm. I think that's a pretty good option, and that's probably the option that I will be going with him. All right, here we go. So this is the first time we're gonna be able to see it. So this big little piggy he actually is a pig. I didn't think he was a pig. So we burned him, we blazed him up. So we're gonna S3 him, what it looks like when you get the double proc, right? So let's see what that looks like. Boom, S3 him, boom, he's dead. And then it just immediately triggers. So I don't get to choose that second target, which was something I was curious. I didn't know if it was gonna be like like Eris, I think it is, like she S2s and then her other skills are locked, and then she pretty much can attack 3 times. So I wasn't exactly sure if it was gonna be like that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait until I have enough souls and the enemies aren't super weak to where I can S2 them, then S3, and then do another S3 to see if it triggers twice within one battle. All right, this is probably like the perfect scenario. So I have it that the skill cooldowns don't reset. Here we go. Let's do this again. We've seen this rodeo. So boom, S3, gonna get a kill, and then it's gonna bounce and get another kill. This is very important. I know for a lot of you guys really wanting to know, some people are confused. This effect is triggered only once. I'm assuming, I've always said that it means that you can't just keep killing people with Blaze, but you can activate it each time your S3 is actually up. So this is a quick way to showcase it because, you know, it's like a 2-turn cooldown. So boom, here we go. I'm gonna get this kill. Let's see if it triggers. Come on, baby, boof. And then it goes again. So that should be confirmation for you guys that, I know it says the way that it's worded is like slightly weird. Pretty much mean that it can't trigger multiple times within the same turn, but it can trigger multiple times within the same battle. I hope you guys understand that. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. This is my little Baldr. I actually have a dupe of him, and now I'm kind of happy. I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of happy. That is a lot of free damage. But if you did like the guy, guys, please like and share it. We definitely need some more Elune. If you've been thinking about becoming a creator for this game, I say go right ahead for it. If you guys want to give me any feedback on how this video can be better, I'm trying to like fit the skill gems in at the right time and explain it, but I think I probably, you know, I could always use some improvements, so I'm always open to feedback. And I really like this game, and I really hope that it flourishes. So we need to get more people, we need to get the word out and get more people in here. But since you guys are here, remember something very, very, very important, that at the Kashino, every day is your lucky day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.